Going live. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me well? I hope you can. Sorry, we are a few minutes late today. This is my first time going live on YouTube. And we are going to be talking red light therapy today. So for those of you that are watching this for the first time and don't know, I am part of Healthier Tomorrow. And at Healthier Tomorrow, our mission is to use modern technologies to help your health. So one of the ways we do that is through red light therapy. Now, this red light therapy we're talking about is going to have more than just red light. So if you're familiar with red light, that's fantastic. We'll be touching on that, but we're going to be touching on a couple other types of light as well. So we're going to be talking about blue light, and we're going to be talking about infrared. And many people have heard of infrared because it's a newer thing, but pretty popular, infrared saunas. And so we'll give you a little insight onto why infrared saunas are very good for you. And they use the same type of infrared that this panel that I am touching here uses. And many have heard of red light because red light is very popular for a couple of major categories. One of them is anti-aging, which, yes, there's science to prove that it works for that. And the other one is weight loss. So there's also science backing up weight loss. At Healthier Tomorrow, we also like to educate on the entire body and not just relying on the technology. So we will be touching on what else benefits us in order to do anti-aging or in order to achieve weight loss. Nothing that we are going to be explaining, providing, recommending in any way is, well, just use this panel. And it is magical, and you don't have to do anything else, and you will age better and weigh less. It is magical in a sense because we used to have no ability to get these type of technologies, and it can just exponentially speed up what we would get from sunlight, for instance. And people also ask things like, well, the sun, does it give you red light, blue light, infrared? So sun is great for you. I recommend going out into the sun, and depending on where you're at, there's only limited times when you can get sun. Like, for example, I'm up in Michigan, and we cannot get sunlight year round because it's not sunny all the time, and it can be very cold. But sunlight also comes with some negatives, which many of us know. And why do we know this? Is because we might know someone who's dealt with skin cancer. We might ourselves have dealt with skin cancer. And there is rays that come through that are not healthy and aren't good for us. So the good news is we can create technologies that don't have any of those harmful rays. They only have rays that are beneficial and healthy for us. So I'm going to be answering a lot of different questions today about red light therapy, why use red light therapy, blue light therapy, why use blue light therapy, and also infrared. The general recommendation here is that we have to do it with a certain amount of frequency in order to get the maximum benefits. So some things respond right away, just like that, right? So what got me looking into red light therapy is my daughter has eczema. So if any of you out there struggle with eczema or any other skin thing, you know it can be a daily struggle as a healthcare provider and someone who wants to do things in the natural way, but is seeing their daughter struggle with something that's affecting them every day. I was looking for natural solutions because most of the mainstream ways were, hey, just give her steroids, or a huge way is to put topicals on things like eczema, which when you put a topical on something, it might help for a little period of time. And sometimes it doesn't help at all, depending on the topical. But when it does help, it only helps while it's on it and for a short period of time, and then it doesn't help. Why? It's only treating the exterior surface. It's not doing anything under the skin and impacting the body in any way that's going to heal the area, right? So it's a temporary band-aid at best. And to be honest, most of the topicals that she was trying weren't even giving her much temporary relief. It was hard to find anything that would. And when it did, it lasted a couple hours. So red light therapy is fantastic for eczema. With eczema, the first time we got this panel, having her stand there with her worst area was right here in the crux of the elbow. And then for her, it was on the back of the leg, right? So having her stand in front of this panel for 10 minutes caused a 90% improvement. And it's healing her from the inside out, not just from the outside. So you actually see it in the outside. So some conditions you notice an immediate response without repetitive use, which is absolutely awesome, right? What else do we have that can do that? It's actually healing from the inside out at the cellular level, yet giving you instant results. Now, if you're using something like this for anti-aging, or if you're using it for weight loss, you're not going to walk out of the room or out of the treatment and see the weight loss or see the anti-aging. For anti-aging, if you use something like this 3 to 5 times a week for 4 to 6 weeks, you will start noticing a difference. For things like weight loss, you need at least that amount of time, if not longer. So where can you find panels like this? Well, you can find panels right through us, right? So there's a ton of different type of panels too. And since I've had this, a great example is my kid's mother was asking me for other alternatives except for the panel, for size convenience, for how they looked, and also you'll find a lot of stuff online that's really cheap, right? So can we use these in place of something like this? Well, a couple of people have approached me with this panel and already had rather expensive face ones for anti-aging, for wrinkles, that were in the $700 to $800 price range. They use this equipment right here, and within not even a 10-minute cycle, within 30 seconds for one and 2 minutes for the other, they're like, I got to have this. This is way more intense. It works better, faster, stronger. They could feel the difference. There is heat coming off of it. But that was just two examples actually of how much better a panel like this is than some of the other panels. So when you're doing the research, all red light is not created equal. I think that makes perfect sense to any of you that are listening to this, because if you take any supplements, all supplements are not created equal. Now, if that's new to you, then that's a whole separate conversation. But if you take vitamin D from one supplement to another, it can be vastly different. And how do we know this? By taking it and testing down the road how much our body is absorbing of it. So with something like this, they can actually test what's coming off of it, and the frequencies, the amount of light bulbs, all play a factor into how much is actually coming off. And then the results are the way that you test whether it's working or not. So what differentiates different pieces of equipment, and even panels that look alike? How come some panels are better than others? Well, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked, right? So if you have any questions, by the way, throw it in the chat. If you're watching this and you weren't on the live, but you're just getting information, the best place to reach out and ask a question is to go to our Healthier Tomorrow Facebook page, and you can message us and we will get back to you within 24 hours, sometimes even quicker, right? Because we want you to understand why you would make an investment into something like this. And we are selling these to the public and to doctors. Why? Well, it works for all of us. And you're probably saying 3 to 5 times a week. How do I go to a facility and use something 3 to 5 times a week? And that is a challenge. That's why people buy a lot of these panels or these face things for home use. So the good news is it's affordable to get one of these. And for anyone who joined us live today, just for showing up, we give $100 off the panel. And if you stay to the end, we give $200 off the panel. And you might be saying, well, I'm watching this and I already missed it. So we will have more episodes coming up every Friday, 1 to 1:30 Eastern, we're going to be talking about different technologies. It won't always be red light. It might be the Shockwave piece of equipment that we have. It might be Stimwell piece of equipment that we have. But we're going to be giving education and answering questions to people about different technologies that they might see at local wellness centers, local chiropractic offices. Like I have a chiropractic and wellness center. They might see these equipment and go, I wonder if that works for me. And that is the point of doing these. Now, on a side note, for something like the red light, we can get you one. Don't matter where you are, we could ship you one, and you can be using it from the comfy confines of your own house. So I'm going to get into now different wavelengths, because that's what differentiates one piece of equipment from the other, is what wavelengths are they using and how many. Because as we increase the amount of wavelengths, it helps different areas of the body, because each wavelength affects different things in the body, and each wavelength penetrates differently into the skin. So what's one differentiating factor between doing a red light, blue light, infrared versus laser treatments? And again, laser treatments can be effective, but when you do a laser treatment, it's actually causing damage to the skin. The good news about this therapy is there's no damage. It's just creating healing without the damage. Now, sometimes we need to create damage to help with healing. And so I'm not saying that lasers, for sure, no. Each individual person, client, or in my office, patient, needs to be treated specifically when you use something like a laser. When you use something like this, the good news is, because it's not causing any damage, you can use it. It's healthy for you. It's only giving you healthy stuff from the sun without any of the potential side effects and risk factors. So what do the different wavelengths do? Well, number one, you have to have a panel, whether it's a face mask, a panel, something like this. There's beds, by the way, too, that are great, super expensive. These are more affordable for the every person to use at home. But they have different amounts of wavelengths. So in a panel like this is state of the art, top of the market. There's no other panel on the market that has more than this. So we have 5 red light wavelengths, 1 blue light, and 1 infrared. So a lot of the things that you might already have from home, or that you see that are out there to purchase, don't have 7 different wavelengths. So that's what differentiates this panel from all but 1 or 2 different products that have equivalent to this now on the market, but none has more. And even if you do a red light bed, which the benefit of that is you can just lay down, right? That's convenient, right? But the other benefit of the red light is it can be fully around you, but they don't have as many wavelengths. The traditional bed has anywhere 3, 4, or 5 wavelengths. So for treating specific areas, there's nothing that's going to beat this on the market. So if you want to use it in your doctor's office, if you're a practitioner using here, that's good to tell your patients, right? This is the best that you can have. Now, if you're someone at home that wants to have one of these at home, like I have for my daughter, and when I say I have it for my daughter, the cool news is everyone in the family can use it. You know who else likes these? So the people I've sold them to that have pets, cats like these. My dog, Sunny, the golden retriever, likes this. Why? Because it's emitting healthy, healing, positive wavelengths that are good for every living organism. So, I mean, animals can tell you a lot about food too. If you try and give them something, some animals will eat just about anything, but some of the more, some other animals will turn up their nose to stuff that's not real food. And it's really interesting to see how that's the case. But when they're drawn to something like a light like this, it just tells you that it's doing something in a healthy, productive way. So, I'm going to turn it on first so you can see what it looks like. And one method is to put on these trusty sunglasses here. So if you can see over here, there's a LED panel right here, and it's got a lot of different features on this panel. This panel can make it so you can use just red light, you can use just blue light, or you can use just infrared, or like I'm going to start off by showing us, you can use all 3 and get all 7. And it can come pre-programmed. The amount of cycle that you need for maximum best use is 10 minutes. because of the intensity of this particular unit, some people have told me they got to spend 50 minutes in front of their mask for their face or in front of some of their technology. I mean, who's got 50 minutes, right? So people struggle with 10 minutes. But I'm going to give you some other tips how you can get 10 minutes on one side and then 10 minutes on the other side and how you can still be productive. Okay. So really all you do once this is set up, if you want all three wavelengths, and it's easy for patients to use when you step out of the room. It's easy for my 11, soon to be 12-year-old child to use when I step out of the room. You don't have to do it. They literally just press the button. And you can tell, if you've ever seen one of these, the amount of light that it's emitting. You're not going to be able to feel the heat, unfortunately. I can feel the heat. Even through the clothing, you can feel the heat a little bit. But we're going to keep this PG because it's a live video. But what we want to do is get maximum skin exposure. So we would want to get up to the panel, something like this. And you want to be 6 to 12 inches away. That's best case scenario. That's when you're going to get maximum absorption from a panel like this, is again 6 inches away to 12 inches away. Now you can get closer, but it's not going to be helping you as much. But it's also not something that you have to worry about it harming someone like your child, in the sense of like it's not like going to burn you. Okay, but again, recommended stay 6 inches away and within that 6 to 12 inch bubble. And I have a chair set up here where we could lean it against. We can sit just like this and be within that 6 to 12 inch range. So it feels even better and a little warmer on the areas that, again, aren't covered. And when you do this, it's not to be done through clothes. You're supposed to remove clothes and do it through your skin. That's where you get the optimum absorption. That's where all the studies are done for. So don't do it with clothes on. Now, what else do we have here? On this feature, we can scroll, and there's the setting buttons, like I said, and you can turn down the brightness and make it less intense if you want. I don't know why you would want to do that. I like to get the maximum of my time, but you can scroll, and I'll show you turning the blue light off. And now you can just do the red light and the infrared without the blue light. So it's really easy to change in and out of the different settings. I'm going to leave that out in the background just so you can see what it looks like. So blue light. So there's different wavelengths, just like there's different wavelengths of the red light. So when it comes to the blue light, a lot of people are scared of blue light, and they should be, because if we get our phone out like this and we're on our phone or we're on computers, we're on television, there's a blue light that's bad for us. Those blue light wavelengths are between the 400 and the 450 nanometers. We want to avoid those. They can affect our sleep in a negative way, and we want to recover from those. This blue light we're talking about is 480 nanometers, which, yeah, you're like only 30 nanometers different in some cases. Well, that's a tremendously different impact, which is why on our panel, we have so many different red light wavelengths, because it can have a tremendously different impact as well. And when it comes to blue light, it's used in a lot of medical approaches. It's used at med spas. It's used at different things. And what is it used for? It's used for acne. It's used for your skincare. It's used for hyperpigmentation, meaning different color spots. So the major use of blue light is for these different colors that are on your face with acne. It also can be used and is used in the medical realm for skin cancer and for helping other treatments to work even better on skin cancer, which I found just amazing, right? The other really cool part that blue light particularly helps with is depression. And so it activates different cellular mechanisms that can help people out of that seasonal depression that they go into. So what are the major highlights for blue light? Acne and skin coloration, depression, and anti-carcinogenic type of principles to help heal from skin cancer or help prevent those skin cancer mechanisms from becoming full-fledged skin cancer. Which, again, you can research this just like I did, and it's just phenomenal that blue light can do that. And again, the benefit of using a panel like this, it's not giving you any of those rays that would lead you down the potential of having more skin cancer. So we're going to get back into infrared because infrared is on this. It's not the main stressed one on here because red light is really just thought of with these panels and these masks. Infrared is thought of more for saunas, but you're getting some of the exact same boost of being in a whole infrared sauna. Again, that's better because there's more, it's more intense, right? So it's giving you more of the features. But why do we sit in something like that? It helps our immune system, right? It helps our blood flow. It helps the body heal from the inside out. It helps with pain and inflammation, infrared does. And it also helps to relax us. That's the cool part about red light and infrared. It can help to really relax you. So what happens when we're using these different light therapies? It can relax us and it can help people with sleep. A lot of people struggle with falling asleep or staying asleep. And studies show people that use a panel like this with any type of frequency start sleeping better and start feeling like they stay asleep better. And again, how can you monitor this? Well, we can actually have Apple Watches. There's different devices that can show you how your REM sleep is improving by going through this different types of therapies. So I've been talking about the 5 different red light frequencies and what they can help with. So our particular panel has the 630, the 660, and it has 810, 830, and 850, all 5 of those. So if you own something, you might go, oh, wow, I have 1 or 2 of those, but I don't have all 5. And so they all help with slightly different, better things. Like they're better at helping different conditions slightly more than others. So that 630 nanometer helps with the skin. It really helps things like the eczema, and it helps with the sleep. That is the major thing that it does. The 660 nanometer helps with the favorite one out there for most ladies, and that's with collagen production. And that's what gives you the best for the anti-aging type of look, right? The 810 helps relax the muscles, right? Meaning if you have muscle tension and you have tightness, that's what's going to do the most of that muscle relief, that muscle tension. The 830 can actually do something that I haven't talked about yet, which is the wound healing. So being in front of these lights will actually speed up your wound healing. And I've seen that and the acne. So I don't get much acne anymore, but if I eat bad, if I go in front of this, instead of a pimple popping up and it lasting for 5, 6, 7 days, within 1 or 2 days, it's completely cleared up. And again, if I eat right, it stays away. Right. In the wound healing, I had a little scrape on my leg and it just healed up so much faster, which is just fascinating. It's not as important for wound healing for someone like myself that is just a scratch. But there's people out there that have diabetes and they struggle with wound healing. So this can help someone that's struggling with wound healing to help speed up that wound from healing and be more of what they want it to be. And then the 850 nanometer affects our mitochondria. And it's really, really good for repair and regeneration. And that also can help with the anti-aging, of course, but it helps with your energy levels, right? Your mitochondria, for those that don't know, are your energy cells. And as we start healing these energy cells, these little boosters, now we start getting more sustainable energy. And all of these categories I just listed are from the inside out, meaning they're healing you from the cellular level and your body is getting healthier and healthier, as opposed to many of the ways of artificially raising our energy or helping our skin or things that are causing traumas to the body in order to help our skin or our body. So skincare, weight loss, anti-aging, inflammation. We're notice a difference with people with shoulders and knees with arthritis and inflammatory responses in there to help calm those type of things down. I would love to open it up to if anybody has any questions about the panel. It does come with a full 2-year warranty. And it comes with a remote control. It actually comes with things to hang it from the back of your door, so you can hang it from a door, or it's mobile where you can carry it around. It's a little too heavy to probably be having my 11, 12-year-old daughter be working with it, but she can carry it. It's just fragile. So mostly for adults to carry around. So I see here, can red light therapy be used in combination with other treatments or medications? So that is a great question. So the good news is we use it all the time in our office with other treatments. So in my chiropractic office, we can do adjustments with these red light, blue light, infrared therapies. We can do shockwave treatments, which again is for a different topic, but then we can help the inflammation that's caused by the healing mechanism of the shockwave by using red light, blue light, and infrared. And to my knowledge, in all the studies I've shown, the good news about all of these lights is, unlike sunlight, in the potential under 400 nanometer UV lights in nanometers, that have to be carefully monitored with certain medications. Because unfortunately, I took medications when I was in youth for acne, and I had to be really careful about sun exposure. This technology, the red light, blue light, and infrared, has no known side effects to any medications. With that being said, if you are on any medications, do ask your healthcare provider. Don't take someone's word on YouTube or Facebook, even doctors' words. So we want to make sure, because we're constantly coming up with different treatments and different medications. So let's be cautious, but confident that we can use this without any potential problems. Our next question is there any specific clinical studies or evidence supporting the use of red light therapy for particular conditions? The answer to that is yes. There is lots of scientific evidence done by the medical professionals on how the red light therapy, blue light, and infrared can help, which is why now in different medical avenues, they're using it. So it's not just for beauty and for cosmetic, which it's been used for that for much longer, but it's being used more in the medical profession. So the good news is, if you have Google, you can Google stuff and get a whole bunch of research. And I don't know if it's for your specific condition, because it depends on what your condition is, but there is a lot of different things that it can help you for. And everyone has the condition of wanting to age better, have more energy, sleep better. So for those things, it can help us all. Are there any specific, that was the one I just read. Can red light therapy be used daily, or is there a recommended treatment schedule? Great questions. I love these questions. So it can be used daily. And actually, if you have one at home, it's highly encouraged to be used daily. You have to use it a minimum of 3 to 5 times a week, depending on you and your condition, to get benefits from it. When it comes to a lot of the conditions, again, even with eczema, like my daughter, it helped 90%, and it did. But if she doesn't use it again, it's not going to stay, because it's got to heal the body. And then things like gluten and dairy, like for her, flare it up. So unless you're getting rid of the gluten and the dairy, you're going to need more repetition to heal it more as well. What do we got next? How does red light therapy interact with skincare products or treatments? Great question. So there are certain products, with the supervision of who's ever using those products, a physician or your skin expert, that they use it intentionally to help it and get more out of whatever product you're using. But for at-home use, and for when I'm having people use this, the best idea is just to keep everything completely washed without products on, and you get the best absorption into your body and through your skin if you don't have products and things on. So it can be used in combination with products, but you want to be with an expert who knows how they're properly using it, not just with anybody. What conditions or ailments do red light therapy most effective in treating? The list is huge, so it's going to seem unreal, but that's why you should study your particular condition. It can help with arthritis and inflammation. Again, the biggest one's anti-aging, skin, helping to get rid of wrinkles. Weight loss is a big one, where it can help with the hard spots on the arms, the back of the arms, and along the waistline. Eczema, almost all skin conditions. The blue light, specifically with red light, with the acne, helps you to sleep better. It helps to give you more energy. Just does an amazing things for many conditions. And we are running into that 30-minute time spot that I wanted to keep. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. This red light, blue light, infrared, I'm using it myself. My fiance is using it. Our kids are using it, not just the child that has eczema, but we're using it for natural health and wellness to improve our look, yes, but more importantly, to improve our longevity, less pain, and feeling better and being able to be better for those around us. So look us up on healthiertomorrowforyou.com, our website, or Healthier Tomorrow Facebook page. Follow us, share us with a friend. Follow us here at YouTube Lives. We're going to be here every Friday, 1 to 1:30 Eastern approximately. Today we are a little bit late, running a little bit over. Now that I've figured out the technology a little better, computers and phones aren't necessarily my friend. That's what makes it even more humorous to me, that I'm using technologies to help with the health, because I'm not this tech person that's like, let's use tech for everything. When people are using tech to turn on all their lights and do Alexa and all these things, I'm like, oh no, tech is taking over. But all these things can actually be used to our benefit, and just knowing the downsides and the upsides. The upsides far are outweighing the downsides if we're aware. I appreciate everyone for viewing this. Again, share it with a friend, family, anyone that you know that deals with any of these conditions. We can get them a panel, or just answer any questions, because they might be going to a place. How do I get the most effective use out of red light, blue light, or infrared? And yes, a lot of people have to do those three separately. So let's combine it and being able to do it all at one time, 10 minutes per area. So even if you're doing both sides, 20 minutes, as opposed to having to do these all individually. Thanks for joining me. And on behalf of myself, Dr. Keith, on behalf of Nicole, and on behalf of Rob, our current staff at Healthier Tomorrow, we all just want to wish you a blessed, wonderful day and a healthier tomorrow. God bless.